surprisingly, when I started that journey, I just found myself in a valley, but it had grass. But as well, there was a feeding zebra. But above, there was a dove that was flying around. Then, after that, I found myself surprisingly like on a very big lake, but I was on the shores as Jesus was on the water. So he told me, actually, you can do this. So I went, he held my hand, and we crossed. We were just walking across the lake, like walking normally as though you could walk on normal road. So we crossed over, and as we crossed over to the other side, he told me, actually, you can fly with me. So we flew, and we found ourselves in, it was a hall, but it was as though it was a dining place. Like, I didn't see as though we went through any door. We just found ourselves into that same place. But in that same place, there were lots of angels, but they were seated on a table. That way you can see, let me say, a boardroom, and there is a very long table. They were seated on sides, and for us, we sat like the way you can see a very long table, and then you sit on the other side. Yeah, so he told me, you can come and share this place with me.
Wow.
So we sat together, and but surprisingly, it was as though they were having food, but I didn't get to eat that food. But each had apples, but in a purple color. Yes, so after that, we went through the room. We didn't use that door, we just walked through. And when we walked through, we saw, like, we entered another place, but it was as though it was a temple, because there were angels worshiping, but they created, like, in the middle, they had left a path. So we went through the path, and at the end of the path, there was a chair, but it was glittering, like, I can't explain, like you couldn't get closer because the eyes could even get affected. So we went, he was holding my hand, and we bore, like, near that place. After that, we went through, but as we went through, at the back there was a very beautiful garden.
Wow.
But it had grass that was pouring out water. It was pouring out water, and on another side, there were white flowers, but it was as though there was some sound coming out of those white flowers. But I can't really explain the beauty of the other garden. It had that unique green. I can't really explain it. So after that, but in the garden, on the other side, there was an eagle on a hilly place. And actually, I sat on the eagle, and we went like around the place. And surprisingly, during that journey, I asked God about, there is a company we started. It is called Alpha Coatings. So I asked God about that particular company. So I asked him where he wants it to be located. So as I was on the eagle, he told me to look down. And when I looked down, I saw a very big piece of land with structure. But but there were like lots of lorries trying to load, like in that particular place. And that is when Papa told us to come back. But surprisingly, as I was traveling those journeys, I could feel different stuff on my body, like the atmosphere was different. It was as though I was experiencing something different with my body, like the temperatures and everything.
Amen.